From leaving contestants twitching on the ground to even getting Congress involved due to the atrocity of the sport, Dana White is still defending his new creation, but this latest buzz may get him to reconsider his decisions. But what's the hype surrounding the Power Slap League? The sport in itself has attracted a ton of ridicule. I mean, it's absurd. You basically channel all the power in your body through your palm and take turns winding up and clocking your opponent across the face until either of you is knocked to the ground. That is, if you're still responsive by then. And I know what you're thinking, isn't that what every combat sport is about? An astronomical no. Mixed martial arts is one thing. This is literally just pulling a Will Smith on people. Not to mention, MMA is based on the fact that the fighters defend themselves. They're meant to fight each other and not just stand motionless while the other person delivers a full-blown assault across their face.
There you go. Legal. Legal.
But with the PSL, there's none of that. All the player can do is pretty much bite down on his mouthguard and pray to the PSL gods that the opponent doesn't break his nose or punch him in the ear. The entire purpose of every sport is that two opposing teams play two different parts in guarding their court. But with slap fighting, it's the opposite. There's nothing you can do except stand and watch your opponent wind up to make you rethink your life for a second.
Toth will go first.
And it's not just the sport that's been at the center of attention. The level of damage it can leave behind is shocking. If you thought the sport was bizarre, wait till you hear what people are willing to risk for it, besides leaving the sports community in a buzz. It also left neurologists concerned for the well-being of the players. They've already started spreading awareness about the dangers they could face if they took part in the sport. The Power Slap League can potentially impart significant and long-lasting physical harm.
Pivot.
Neurologist Professor Evangelo said that it was a recipe for disaster. It was only a matter of time before someone faced a severe brain injury. The force applied to the face is the same force when one punches a face. The head and brain receive a blow, and the brain is concussed, causing hopefully a temporary but sometimes permanent disruption to brain function. And the twisting movement of the head can cause even more serious complications. He also added that he wouldn't even rule out death in this case. If the slap causes one of the arteries that supply blood to the brain to split, let's just say it would leave the participant permanently knocked out. And if you think I'm exaggerating, it's already happened before. 46-year-old Artur Walczak was put into a medically induced coma following his participation in the Punchdown Gala last year. Sadly, he never awoke and died of multi-organ failure resulting from irreversible damage to the central nervous system. The sport is literally life-threatening, and it's even caught the attention of Congress. Yeah, you heard that right. Not one, but two public officials from the United States Congress have expressed concern about Power Slap and have requested an explanation from Warner Brothers and TBS regarding why it's even being broadcasted. Bill Pascrell Jr. from New Jersey's 9th District and Don Bacon from Nebraska's 2nd District are clearly not amused. They've also sent a letter to Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav and Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel. The two-page document branded the UFC president's new venture as a crass TV show, which disregards the long-term well-being of the participants. It also pointed out that it could lead to the competitors suffering from traumatic brain injuries and mental deterioration. The congressman mentioned that the league was capitalizing on violent behavior and lurid drama masquerading, while disguising it as athletic prowess for profit and promoting mindless violence. Not to mention, all the participants are offered is a measly $2,000 in exchange for endangering their mental and physical health. And with the Congress eyeing the controversial sport's release, who knows, maybe it'll get taken down. But does Dana White care? Not in the least. His new project has been leaving participants writhing on the floor, struggling to remember their own name. But the boss seems to be having a field day. Previously addressing the controversies, he announced that he wasn't forcing anyone to enjoy the sport. If they don't like it, they could just change the channel. But the public has a better idea in mind. Why doesn't Dana participate in the Power Slap League himself? Let the man get a taste of his own medicine. Despite the videos that have surfaced the internet, it's evident that he has no regard for the destructive impacts it can leave behind. He fired back at the uproar surrounding its release, saying that the players were provided sufficient medical care before and after the game, and that boxing was far more brutal than the PSL. You receive about 500 to 600 punches in a boxing bout and barely 10 slaps in a game of Slap League. Why didn't the former receive the same backlash? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because the opponent can protect and defend themselves, but Dana won't hear it. Well, I say let's hear him out, but only after he's gone through a game of the Power Slap League himself. I dare say the president will have different opinions about the situation after that. He also had a lot to say about the pay the fighters received. The controversy around the salary offered began after former UFC star Eric Spicely revealed what he had been offered to participate. You'd be surprised by how much they were willing to pay him to get his face deformed. £1,600 to feature on the program, with an increased £1,600 if he won. And after fans attacked Dana's Instagram post promoting the PSL, he fired back, saying that the players were being paid the same amount MMA fighters were when the sport first took off. But aside from sparking more uproar, his words have had little influence. And I know what it would take for the chaos to die down. A game featuring the UFC president himself. Okay, hear me out. It's not an impossible task. If Dana can muster up the courage to step into the court himself and come out aware of his surroundings and his consciousness, I'm pretty sure the public would stop attacking his every move. And who wouldn't want to watch the man face the monstrosity of a sport he's created? I'm just saying, with the players getting absolutely annihilated in these matches, from Courtney Olsen getting concussed and doing a forward roll while trying to get up on her feet, to Chris Kennedy literally getting the life knocked out of him as he struggled to remember where he was. Let's see what Dana will bring to the news. And those are just the effects during the match, just mere seconds after receiving the slap. Following the game, Olsen had a 2-inch knot under her chin and a migraine for weeks after the slap. She even struggled to swallow and questioned whether her short-term memory had deteriorated. And it's not just a one-time occurrence. Almost every player who's had the unfortunate opportunity to participate has a similar story to tell. So I'm pretty sure the critics wouldn't mind seeing the creator of this absurd show get knocked around a bit. And if he lives to speak about the experience, then I'll lend him an ear. And if it's views he wants, Dana's participation is a foolproof scheme to break the show's previous screening records. So what does he have to lose, aside from his face? Pun intended. And with that, that's all the reasons why Dana White should definitely compete in the Power Slap League. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.